talk more about Bharatanatyam and Mohiniyattam, given that Gopika Cheshi does both. Deepa had a question related to that.
Yeah. This has been very interesting, right? It's a delight to just listen to you talk. And my question related to the two dance types is that you have so much expertise in both art forms, and you probably have so much muscle memory imbibed from these two forms, right? And so how do you borrow from the strength of one art form into the other, and how do you keep these traditionally steeped frameworks pure when you're performing one style versus other? Was my question.
Many people don't agree with what I'm going to say, but I always feel a dancer should learn at least more than his style, because South Indian styles complement each other. So I always feel that my strong base in Bharatanatyam has helped me in having Mohiniyattam, that foundation or that volume in my Mohiniyattam. Now I choreographed this new Varnam. I have put a very elaborate array, which I have. It was that why I did that, because of my Bharatanatyam. My Tattamattals are all complicated, because not wantingly I am doing it, but it will come without my knowledge, because I will want to have a strong kanak in that. So it comes without my knowledge. And when it comes to Mohiniyattam, to Bharatanatyam, why a lot of Bharatanatyam teachers like all of you come to learn from me, because they get the depth in Abhinaya. So when they learn Bharatanatyam from me, their Abhinaya is more in depth. Their Bharatanatyam will have a very deep Abhinaya when they learn. So that is not purpose, but it complements. My Mohiniyattam background complements. But when I do Bharatanatyam, I should know that Mohiniyattam should. And when I do Mohiniyattam, I should know that Bharatanatyam cannot. To teach, it is okay. To teach, it is good. But to become a national level dancer, perform, it is difficult to see. You will learn everything in your account, doing your MBBS. Then you specialize, right? So like that, you have to be a specialist. But definitely, a neurosurgeon can treat somebody who's having, I'm having skin allergy. I can always ask my cousin brother who is that neurosurgeon that what should I do for my skin allergy, right? So it is okay. I can teach. I can interact. I can discuss. I can do all that. But to perform, it is difficult. To do two steps. And more than that, maybe if you are very talented, you can do it. But people will not accept it. There are so many Bharatanatyam dancers who will sit and sit on Simha and do this. I have seen many dancers, Bharatanatyam dancers. When my Bharatanatyam student did that, they said, "Oh, it's a Mohiniyattam mari irukke." Because her guru knows about Mohiniyattam, right? So that is very sad that people don't accept you as two style artist, and you can't do. You cannot establish yourself. It is like we are like doctors. You can only specialize in one, but you can teach. You can train. You can.
I have a follow-up question. So this is something about I've heard from young generation students, right? So when I ask them to learn both Bharatanatyam and Mohiniyattam, there is always this, a conflict of styles and bodies and all that is brought up. What advice do you have for those students who want to learn both?
You are saying if they want to learn both or they don't want to learn?
They want to learn both, but they are scared that the two styles conflict and their body goes into some conflict later. which is not the case, because when I was a kid, I learned everything, right? And that's how it is in India. But here, there is a different concept that, it's just one style and you stick to that. There's no learning two art forms together.
The problem with present day children, no, they know everything. we never spoke, right? We never did anything. Vadiyar enna next solli kodukka pore that we don't know. I didn't know what he was going to teach me next. After the one item, it will take 6 months for him to teach me another item. Will your student agree with that? No. And children are very vocal. They decide everything. They only decide which teacher they want, everything. So actually, they are telling this because they don't know. They are children. How do they know? They don't know. You know because you have experience. Two things you can do. One, don't talk to them. Don't answer them. Let them do what they want. Second thing you can do is tell them that, look, I have learned this. Do I do Mohiniyattam like Bharatanatyam? You don't do Mohiniyattam like that, right? Do I do Bharatanatyam like Mohiniyattam? No, I don't do. So I am the greatest example you have in front of you, and I am going to teach you. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, give a demo right then.
Give a
demo right then with one jati in Bharatanatyam and one small jati in Mohiniyattam. Then they will understand.
They will, because they have to see you. You are the greatest example they have. And don't try to explain it to them too much. Because their Putti Buddhi has no capacity to understand that. You are what you are because of 30 years of hard. You, by the way, did become a dancer in 10 days or 10 months of life. You have been dancing for past 20 years, 25 years, you have been dancing. Right? Maybe more. So, that experience will only come with age, with experience, with working, with seeing, with understanding, with all that. It doesn't happen. That this 10-year-old child, how can you convince that child? If they are open, if they want to learn 2 items, they will get up. If they don't want to learn 2 items, they will never get up. So it is a challenge for you to decide whether you want to explain to them or not. Nowadays, I don't like the children, having this attitude that they know everything. Actually, they don't. Ignorance. That is why they are talking.
And they don't have the patience to learn regularly. They just want to perform. Just after learning an item, they just want to perform. They don't have the patience we had in our past. When we were kids, we were patiently learning, right?
And also, the dance scenario has changed. Now, there are so many students who come to me, they fix the Arangetram date and come. And after Arangetram, you don't see them. Especially somebody invited me as chief guest to US. So I asked them for Arangetram. So I told them, is that child going to continue dance after Arangetram? Oh no, she is going to the university. So she has to do the Arangetram before she goes to university. I said, after that, what happens? Then I don't know when she will dance and then she will come and I said, I don't want to come for an Arangetram there. That Arangetram is going to be the end of her dance. Correct? Correct. I don't want to be part of it. So that Arangetram has become the full stop of your dance. How many of them will continue after university? Very few, right?
These that I have learned, and ask you a question about you were talking about he has written in so many languages, right? That is one thing that I observed when I have grown up hearing a lot of Swathi Thirunal krithis in the Carnatic concerts. The first kirtanam that I learned probably was Deva Deva Kalaimamani, and and then also I love the Riti Kaulai Paripalema. So when I was a kid, when I was listening to all this, I never thought about them as dance pieces because Carnatic music, musicians sing it in one way, which is not very what we hear in a dance music, right? That is more, there are sancharis, there are jatis incorporated and all that. But what I found out was that all the songs that I heard in Carnatic music, kacheris, were very bhakti laden, right? And all of them were in Sanskrit. Most of them were in Sanskrit. And then when I started dancing, when I started choreographing, listening to dance music, I came across all these Hindi compositions like Dhanashri Tilana, Shankara Shrigiri, Chaliye Kunjanamo. All of them very love laden and full of, some kind of extreme love for dance or extreme love for Shiva's Tandavam or something like that, which gives a very different emotion in me. Similarly, so those were all in a different language. So is there any language connection to what rasa is evoked in Swathi Thirunal krithis? Is it like...
See, what I understood what you said. I have gone through almost all the krithis of him. So what was there and published, and now I have found few unpublished krithis of Maharani. In all that, what I have seen is Samskrita. He has given Sanskritam mostly for his bhakti. Paripalayamam, Sharanagata Bharanotsuka. In Paripalayamam, Sharanagata Bharanotsuka is one of the greatest example for all the Sharanagatas. Sharanagata Bharanotsuka. Then Devadeva Kalayamite. All that is in Sanskrit. Then the Bhogendra Shayanam, Padagendra Shayanam, all that. But Padagendra Shayanam is again Shringara. Bhogendra Shayanam, when the singer sings, it is full of bhakti. But when you see the meaning, it talks about the history of bhakti. Padagendra Shayanam is full of Shringara. He talks about very, very intense Shringara. But when Shamagudi Mama sings, you only come across as bhakti. So that is why you are not able to relate to it. He has done Navavida Bhakti. He has done so, but mostly Sanskritam in Bhakti. You come across Bhakti, but there are Shringara Padams also. Then Paramananda Nadanam of Shiva. Paramananda Nadanam. Very, very beautiful. Nirtadi Samshi in Sanskritam. Nirtadi Sambashiva means Nirta of Shiva. Paramananda Nadanam, Ananda Nadanam of Shiva. So all that is Sanskritam. But when you hear the music, you are not understanding the meaning. So the singer sings with lot of bhakti. So singer's bhakti is transformed, has traveled to it. But yes, all his Shringara Padams are mostly in Manipravala. Manipravala, it is in Manipravala. Then bhajans. In bhajans, Aajo Aaya Shama Mohan Rasa Mantra. That is again Jamuna Kinare. But if you sing it full of bhakti, it becomes a bhakti. But the dancer has the capacity to give rasa to that kriti. Bhava to that. But dancer has the capacity to give color to that. Can add, but the singer sings everything with bhakti. So that is why you must have thought that Sanskritam is full of bhakti, but there are so many. Sarsajanava Kimmaya. Why are you angry with me? Aravinda Nayana. So he's asking, Aduna, now, why? Why are you doing Dhanisa Majindra Kamini? This Shringara. Sumasayaka is Shringara. So all Sanskritam, so many Sanskritam studies are there with Shringara. But you have to see it from a dance. You have to see the word meaning. That is why it doesn't look. Kamini Mani Saki, that is Manipram. Very beautiful. Even a Khandida Naika, Endu Mama Sadanatil Mantra. Why did you come to my house? Hanta Marga Maramila, have you come by mistake? Did you take a wrong road and come to my Hanta Marga Maramito? Did you come here by mistake? Chanda Sayaka. So, why did you come to my house? Endu Mama Sadanatil. So, he has written variety of it.
I have a question. I have a question related to that. In Swathi Thirunal krithis, most of the compositions portray Virhotkantida Naika, like Panimandi Mukhivale, Punde Nirmuri, everything. And like we have other things also. We have seen other compositions like Kandida Naika, just you said. And there is one Swadhina Patriga Naika. In Remminayuru Purushan.
Remminayuru Purushan Remini Nidrail was a
yes. I think you have done that. Yeah, that's more like
one of my
Shankara. Yes. Yeah, but we do have those Naikas, but most of the kritis, it's Virahot Khandida Naika. Why do you think
it's like Khandida? No, mostly not Khandida. He's not angry with him. He is pleading to him. Vipralanga Shringar.
Yeah, Vipralanga Shringaram, and basically the Naika is waiting for the hero to go and meet, right? So why is it so in Swathi Kritis? It's always like that.
It is. I have now you will understand little bit, but when you become my age, you will understand. Because for a bhakta, ultimate bhakti is seeing the God as you. Yeah, we're still very low. When it reaches the pinnacle, the bhakta can only see the Bhagavan as his stuff. So Maharaja was the Naika, and Maharaja saw Padmanabha Swami as his stuff. And you can never attain bhakti. Bhagavan is namka kittillallo. We don't get him, right? So I can understand when I walk in that Kudiramalika, when I sit there, when I look at the temple, how I go and sit in the same place where Maharaja used to sit and write. I sit like this Bhairavi and I look at the temple. And but Paata matram varula. The music doesn't come to me, but I sit there and look at Bhagavan and said, oh my God, how much he must have been in love with you, Bhagavan. How much he must have wanted you. How much. That's why he asked, no, Kim Maya, why are you like this to me? So that longing for Bhagavan was there throughout his kriti. His bhakti, ultimate bhakti. To understand ultimate bhakti, you should experience Bhakti. Unless this workshop, I started with the temple darshan. I took all the 63 girls to Padmanabha Swami. 62 girls and one boy to Padmanabha Swami temple at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I had a guide and I told him to explain them everything, nook and corner of the temple. Each pillar has a story to tell. Each pillar, or that wall paintings have so much of story to tell. Narasimhamurti has so much to say. So our temple or pillar has so much to tell. So what I did, part of my workshop was going to the temple, standing at Ottakal Mandapam, looking at him, looking at Bhagavan and seeing him. And when the Varnam starts, she stands and looks to her left and start at the beat. So the student will ask me, why am I looking to left? I should look to right. No? When you see a person with respect, you should look to right, not to left. Why? Because Padmanabha Swami's face is on your left. After our choreography, we should go to the temple, stand there, look at him, talk to him, understand him. Mandasmidam, Netram, everything is very important. And the atmosphere in the temple. Swathi Thirunal, what did he think about that? You will understand. Walk in the Kudiramalika. So these are all experiences. This is not coming by learning, right? For 1 hour a day or 2 hours a week. It doesn't come. So again, my choreographies are result of my bhakti. Bhagavan. So what he is to be, mind no, sometimes he is too gracious, so that people will think that I'm mad, but that madness will only come for an artist if when you are to move, and that is translated to you or to your life or to your sin. So artists are ecstasy. So അതുപോലെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിലാണ് ഭഗവാൻ സ്വാതി തിരുനാൾ. He was the ultimate bhakta of Bhagavan. But that way, all the Maharajas have been great devotees of Bhagavan.
Yeah, when I was learning, when I was a kid, when I started learning Mohiniyattam, I had the same question. But back in India, I was, as you said, I was learning for competitions. But at one time, I completely stopped, just like you. And now I wanted to learn more in depth. Like there, I was learning only items, but I wanted to learn all the aspects of Natya Shastra, more about Mohiniyattam, what we can do more, like what we can improvise, all those things. That's why I'm taking the lessons from Pallavi ma'am.
And I tell my students, you are not learning anything. Just go to the temple and walk in the temple. Walk in that. I told the Durga, how I showed her the pictures of when Kalaimamani Utsavam is coming. How that is coming, how glorious. Kalaimamani, it is full of gold. It is full of that. You experience that. Then experiencing and dancing is different. And in this part of this workshop, I told them, you go to the Kudiramaligat palace and walk in the palace. Understand how he would have been, what emotion he would have been. Right? Go and see how it is. It is very important. So, Sumasayaka. Okay, Sumasayaka. Okay, that is good for a dancer who is going for competition. When you want to mature yourself, why are you dancing? The purpose of dancing will change.
Yes, I learned Sumasayaka.
Awards and fame, you don't need anything else. You don't know.
Yeah, I learned Sumasayaka when I was 15 years old. And
I learned
now
when I learned, old.
Yeah, now when I learn and practice it, I get it wholly. Like when I was in 10th standard, I didn't understand anything. Whatever my teacher taught, I was doing the bhavabhinaya and all. But now when I do, I know the intense emotions and I can express that.
No, 10 years old, when I learned Sumasayaka, when I look back and I'm shocked, because it would have been a criminal offense if now I teach somebody Sumasayaka at the age of 10, no? It is, you should not do it. Which is very, very, those days it was the only Varnam and Maxime Paritapa by Ray. Again, like Swathi Thirunal, there is so much of wealth by Raymond. I have done a Varnam, very beautiful Varnam, 225 years old Varnam on Devi, Archigal Devi, which is the Kuladevada of Travancore royal family. The Ranis of Travancore, Ranis belong to Artingal. They are all Artingal Ranis. So their Kuladevada is Thiruvarataka Varma, Bhagavati. So he has written very beautiful Varnam, 200-year-old. So all that, why should we go behind new things? There is so much we can do.
Gopika Chichi, on that note, when you were talking about new things, right, contemporary stuff, I think Supriya had a question related to that. Yeah.
We were talking about the traditional items, but nowadays most of them are into contemporary type of themes and topics. So what is your opinion about incorporating all those contemporary themes in Mohiniyattam? Is it good, or should we continue with the traditional aspects only? Or
you saw Chayamukhi, right? Supriya? You saw Chayamukhi, my Chayamukhi.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is written now. But see, because that Chayamukhi was written for a festival called Mardan. Mardan means നമ്മുടെ മർദ്ദനം, പാലാഴി മദനം, മദനം. സോ അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ വന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഐ ഡിഡ് ദിസ് മദനം ഓഫ് യുവർ മൈൻഡ്, നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിന്റെ മദനം. സോ അതിനാണ് എഴുതിയത്. അപ്പൊ അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഐ ഗോട്ട് സംബഡി ടു റൈറ്റ് ഇറ്റ്, ബട്ട് ഐ റോട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഇൻ സംസ്കൃതം സാൻസ്ക്രിറ്റ് സ്കോളറാണ് എഴുതിയത്. ഐ വാണ്ടഡ് എ സാൻസ്ക്രിറ്റ് പീസ്. ആൻഡ് നമ്മൾ പുതിയതൊക്കെ ചെയ്താലും ദാറ്റ് ഹാഡ് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് നമ്മുടെ ഐ കണക്റ്റഡ് മീ വിത്ത് Draupadi, I connected me with Kudumbi, I connected me with Bhima, I connected me with Arjuna. So angane I like to do like that. Ipo tsunami ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടൊക്കെ പറ്റും. Anything is possible. You can dance anything. Dance is a medium which can be used for anything. But I don't know whether I want to. But nothing wrong in doing. I may do it. I can never say, but I am not in a mood to do that now. I am very busy doing research and getting out all unsung, unseen krithis and giving it to others and sharing it. Now I have taken that as my work.
Yes, Akka, it's very difficult to get the resources nowadays. Mainly if we are in outside India, it's very difficult to get all the resources. For example, like ഭക്തി പീരീഡിലുള്ള ഏതാതൊരു സോങ്സ് വേണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വി കാൺ ഗെറ്റ് ഇനഫ് റിസോഴ്സ് ഫ്രം എ പേഴ്സൺ ഓൺലി വിത്ത് സൂം അല്ലനാ നേരെ പോയി பார்க்க ഭയങ്കര കഷ്ടം. ஸோ അതിന് ஏதாவதொரு டிப் எப்படி நம்ம கனெக்ட் பண்ணலாம், அது சொல்ல முடியுமா?
It is very difficult, ma. I am a member of public library from the age of 14. Even today, I went to Saraswati Mahal. I travel to Tanjavur. I go to Saraswati Mahal. I sit there. I look at the manuscripts. I don't know how to read manuscripts. I take a scholar with me who can read manuscripts. I go there. I take him. With this help, nothing is easy. Google I want this. It doesn't come like that. I take a person with manuscript. I know. Yes, time. This month no time, next month no time, the month after also he has no time. So it is very difficult to take him with me. Then he can read the manuscript, no patience, all that we have to go through it. Then in many libraries, I saw in Trivandrum archives, when you take the paper itself, it is going away, right? So it is very difficult. I went to Madhya Pradesh to get Harshavardhana. Share, no, we also just looked at it. Okay, this is done. Okay, fine. These things can. So we are also again relearning whole thing. When you give, you learn. Yes, Durga, yes.
Yeah. So for Chayamukhi, I saw your performance and it was beautiful. And you've used the mirror like as a property on stage, right? And I know that for one of your other dance productions or dance performances, you had used Damaru. For the Shiva Thandava.
Paramananda.
So how do you see using properties on solo performances? I know for productions people do use properties, but how do you see it? And then is that okay? And is it welcome?
Okay or not okay is not my concern.
Okay.
Now I have come to a stage whether if it is not okay, it doesn't matter. So that is okay or not okay is debatable. Mohiniyattam never used properties. Correct, no, Bhairavi?
Mm-hmm.
In solo performance, nobody used properties. So I am using it. Not okay is okay, but there should be a beginning for everything.
Correct.
Everywhere, how do art evolve? Art will evolve when art starts moving forward. How do you go forward? When I learned Mohiniyattam, we used to have flag and we used to wear sari. White sari in a kuttita, we'll bring it in front and we will wear. From there, stitched costumes. Then the hair went up.
Color costume came.
Color costumes came. In 86, I wore the first color costume. Border, pink and green border in 86. So everybody said, wow, endha parishkaram, endha. That time it was wrong. Color blouse was wrong. Then color blouse came. Now nobody wears white, right? Wearing white has become very rare. Then stitched costume came. I have traveled through this evolution a lot. Then first time I wear a red costume. Oh, what is Aharya? Chaturvida Abhinaya. What is Aharya Abhinaya is what? Your costume, your properties, what all you use outside
Yeah.
for the performance is Aharya. And Natya Shastra talks about Chaturvida. And already they say that properties used in to complement the dance is Aharya. So it is already there. So why can't I use it? So a mirror, a table, a stool to sit, which will add stage in a complement then demarking. So in my dance, this is hidden this because I have worked with great directors in big, huge productions. So when I have worked with Shama Bhate, Guru Shama Bhate, she directs like this. Kundi will stand here, Gandhari will stand. This is Gandhari's territory, this is Kundi's territory. And you dance from there. As in a light, as in a so in then when she was directing, I learned that how to demarcate positions for each character. So in Chayamukhi, I have demarcated position. Draupadi has a position, Hidimbi has a position, Demon has a position. Demon is always on that stool which I have given. So he will stand like this. So it is Ekanga up there. Only solo artist. So for an audience to avada poil as demon and other. So for them to understand, to decide. So we also should not confuse the audience. We should give it straight. So that is a choreographic intelligence. No, I have choreographed using that this chaya and then again the mirror. You are looking into the mirror and you are seeing your heart. So that is there. This is the fifth mirror I am making for Chayamukhi because every time I get a new idea. So every time now I went to NCPA. There some critics have come and they have given me some other idea. So now this mirror I have to change it. I will make another mirror. So every time even the mirror is evolving.
Right.
Mirror is evolving. Then I have put a nice cushion with the Kerala Munda near the mirror. That is to say that Draupadi, keeping about Draupadi will sit there. Everything characterization, positioning of the character. It is like a director. Dance choreography is like a, which is very. അതുപോലെ ഞാൻ കാലിൽ ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഈ വർണ്ണം വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പ് എടുത്തില്ലേ അപ്പൊ കാലിൽ ഇത് എടുത്തിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ചന്ദനം കാലിൽ തേക്കുമ്പോ when you put chandan on Bhagavan's leg, look up. So you can make it that he is standing. Audience will understand that he is standing. He is tall. He is there, and she is putting chandan on his leg and up, looking up. Our face is there, and she's to know his face. She has to little bit turn and look at him, which is very. Appa adakka nammade oru artistic intelligence, which you nokkiyalum it is correct. But when the chandan ettittu nokkita, when you look at him, it is same. And when my son came back after so many.
And I think Bhairavi also had a question about audience, right?
So my question is, our great gurus have laid a very good foundation for us to bring up the art form, flourish it. However, the audience during that time is very different from audience of today. So how do you choreograph your pieces to cater towards the current audience? Maybe you answered this a bit, bringing all your different choreographies, the spectrum of choreographies that you have done. But if you can throw a little bit more insight to what is your thought process to what the audience will like and how you can take the audience through your journey. How is your thought process?
Oh, by the way, I don't know. You may remember, I used all of us, all senior artists. I used to dance with Chuna. My programs are all Chuna. Bhavyami is 1 hour. Kabalajasya is 1 hour.
Mm.
Sumasaiga was 40 minutes.
Mm.
So like that, all items were long items. My Paripalayamam in Preeti Kavala is 40 minutes. People were dancing. But when I choreographed this Varnam, I had the too much of pressure to finish this Varnam with announcement in 30. So I had this time limit because the Varnam has to finish in 28 minutes and 2 minutes for run. So no audience have patience to watch anything more than 50. Because earlier days, audience were Sahrudaya, people with equal mindset. They came, they sat in front of you and they gave themselves to us. Now they all have phones. One fraction of second they want to see WhatsApp. One fraction of second they want to send message. If it is boring, they will totally go into phone or so many things to distract. And nowadays they have no time. Everybody is running against time. So the total scenario has changed. And the students also don't want to dance more than. And audience patience is different.
Yeah.
So now I will never choreograph an item for. Now I'm going to do Radhe every day again after so many years. My teachers. I'm going to edit it and make it full entire Radhe. At the same time, I used to do Kamalajasya for 1 hour. One nighter for 1 hour I used to do. At that time, in my own lifetime, how much it has changed. Woman has evolved, and this is also part of evolution.
So do you decide your pieces based on where you're performing?
After going there also I changed.
Okay.
So my singer Sudhir used to say that Endinai Marana rehearsal. Marana rehearsal, why you want to do this kind of rehearsal like this? And you go to the auditorium and you change everything. Because I look at Auchityam is very important. In Natya Shastra, they talk about Auchityam. Because after going there, you understand that there is no audience to take your this item. The audience is totally in a different mood. So audience are different than what you have thought or what you are. Then immediately, Auchityam is very important for an. In every aspect of dancing, Auchityam is there.
So what is the point to determine that? That Auchityam?
To decide at that situation. You go to a program and you see lot of youngsters there. Young crowd, nice, vibrant crowd. Then what do? I do an item where Krishna will like ask Rukmini for a bet. And you know what is the bet? If Rukmini wins, Krishna has to promise Rukmini that he will not touch any Gobastri Deva. No woman he will touch. He will only look at the ladies, but no touch. No sparsha. And that is what Rukmini wanted if she wins. And what Krishna wanted, she has to pledge her lips to him from night to dawn. So this is a very romantic item.
It's a plot.
So I will do that. If I have a very senior kind of audience, I like to do Paripale. From Kamalajas. In the Gilabanganta Bhakti, Kavavida Bhakti, I take Dasyam. I take Madhur Dasyam Bhakti, everything. And I do it. They show the Draupadi. I like to subscribe channel. So sometimes you have to change. I'm going to go to Dharwad IIT next week. This weekend I'm going to IIT Dharwad. So I'm taking a student and going. So she said, Chichi, what I should prepare and come? What should I do? I said, Ashwati, we are going to IIT, and IITians are going to be a lot. And the organizer is, I had the coordinator from IIT has told me that 2,000 people will be watching. You're going to dance for an audience of 2,000. What kind of audience? IITians. Audience are going to watch you. So I don't know what I'm going to dance. I'm taking my music and going. After seeing there, I will do that. Chaladithu put I do Bhajagovindam.
I've seen your Bhajagovindam actually.
So, other cheyumbo, that is different. If other it goes to a different level.
Right.
Which is very Auchityan is very important. Auchityan you can't decide. Auchityan is what deciding at that moment. What you have to do. Adana Auchityan. Alle? So Auchityan you can't plan it. അവിടെ ചെല്ലുമ്പോഴേ നമുക്ക് വിചാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. So these things, being an artist is very tricky. We have to be very intelligent. You have to have the greatest knowledge in literature. You should have a very good sense of costume. You should be a very good costume designer. You should have a very good sense of designing. You should have a very good sense of makeup. You should have a very good knowledge in lighting, technology. You should have very good knowledge in choreography. You should have very good dancing, the control of your body is very, part is very, music is very, understanding the audience, talking, marketing yourself is very, conducting yourself is very. And moreover, now we have to be technically very
sound
to operate laptop and of all this tech, the transfer and all these things. We should be doing that also. So, and a dancer is a complete.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Gopika ji.
Thank you, Durga, for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, it was a pleasure listening to you, and thanks to Durga and Jayanti ji for organizing this, right?
Yes.
Giving us this
Making
opportunity.
us part of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gopika ji, for your
Thank you so
time.
much. Very
And
inspiring
sharing
and
all this.
informative session.
Yes, yeah, thank you. So insightful. Yeah.